They never say invasion. When the language is dressed in diplomacy, they call it concern, they call it freedom, they call it stabilization. But every time Washington clears his throat, another country starts coughing up blood and balance sheets. Venezuela wasn't chaos by accident, it was pressure applied with precision. Sanctions like slow poison, starvation disguised as policy. Currency strangled until the shelves look empty on camera. Then they point at the hunger and say, see, socialism did this, while Wall Street quietly sharpens its contracts in the dark. They don't send tanks first, they send economists with knives, raiding agencies, media cycles, opposites funding with clean paperwork. And when the people break under engineered scarcity, they blame the victim for collapsing under the weight that was mathematically designed. This is regime change without fingerprints, soft war, hard consequences, where democracy is a word you say right before you choke a nation's imports. And humanitarian aid becomes a Trojan horse parked at the border with cameras rolling. Oil doesn't smell like fuel in the story, it smells like destiny rewritten by corporations, because Venezuela sits on black gold like a curse. And an empire doesn't tolerate sovereign hands on resources it already counted as future profit. They crown in opposition, goes president with applause, recognize them faster than elections, because legitimacy now comes from alignment, not ballots. And the script only works if obedience looks like democracy on screen. You think it's about Maduro, but leaders are interchangeable pieces on the board. The real target is precedent, the crime is disobedience, the punishment is isolation till the population begs for the same change painted a different color. Media runs interference like a second nature. Frames collapse without context, skips decades of interference. Coups, assassinations, forgets to mention how many governments fell after refusing IMF, scripture, and dollar dominance. They call it helping the people while freezing their assets overseas. They call it liberation while seizing foreign accounts. They call it peace while rehearsing invasion maps behind closed doors that never see daylight. This is economic warfare with polite language, a siege without walls, a lesson broadcast globally. Defy the system and the system will erase your options, not with bombs at first, but with hunger, inflation, and psychological exhaustion. Human rage, but academic clarity, because this isn't conspiracy like tinfoil, it's conspiracy like documented, padded. Iraq, Libya, Chile, Iran is next. Different flags, same mechanics, same righteous tone, masking predatory arithmetic. They weaponize morality, expedite race selectively, ignore allies with worse records because compliance absolves brutality. And suddenly human rights only matter where pipelines don't yet belong to them. The people suffer, not the architects of sanctions. Never skip a meal in DC, never miss rent in Manhattan, never stand in line for bread under a tropical sun, wondering how freedom became a weapon pointed inward. And when the state finally cracks, when desperation turns into unrest, they step in like firefighters after pouring gasoline for years, declaring victory contracts. Reconstruction equals acquisition. This isn't anti-American people, it's anti-imperial machinery, because the average citizen never voted to starve another nation for leverage. They were sold a bedtime story about saving strangers while other people suffering. Venezuela is a warning wrapped in tragedy, a message written in sanctions and silence. And sovereignty is conditional, and resources decide your moral rating. Indian Empire's legend, call it conspiracy if it helps you sleep, but history keeps the receipts. And every intervention rhymes because power doesn't innovate ethics, it just rebrands domination until the crowd applauds the same crime under a new humanitarian logo.